Hi, I'm Lauren. I'm 16 from Pennsylvania, and I'm going to be a junior in high school this year. And this is my story. It began at the end of my freshman year. I fell into a really deep depression. I was changing. My friends were changing. My whole school was changing. I became really good friends with all the seniors that year, and they were all graduating, and I was going to miss them a lot. And I became really self-conscious. Like, I started to hate myself. I thought I was worthless, and I thought I didn't deserve to exist on the earth, and then it would be better without me. And I began to really hate myself, and I was really depressed. And to deal with depression and pain, I started self-harming and cutting and doing everything I could to hide it and lie about it, cover up bracelets, long sleeves, whatever. And then summer came, and my depression got worse right when I thought it couldn't get any worse. I started restricting breakfast, and I wasn't eating. I wasn't eating breakfast all summer, and once I didn't eat breakfast one day, there was a voice in the back of my head telling me, you can't do it, you can't eat breakfast any other day from here on out. And so I didn't, and summer went by with no breakfast, and the beginning, about a month into sophomore year, I realized I wasn't home anymore, and nobody was going to watch me like my sister or anything. So I realized that I could easily skip lunch, so I did. I started pretending to eat and fooling everybody around me, and by November, I was eating one meal a day, and people were starting to notice, like, my weird eating patterns and how I was losing weight. And by December, we had the yearly little sight and weight thing with our school nurse, and my school nurse called my mom and told her my weight and told her she was concerned and worried about me. And so so my mom talked to me, and I just blew it off. I'm like, oh, it's my gym class. We were running a lot. I didn't do that much exercise over the summer. I'm not laying around, whatever. But it really wasn't that. By January, I wasn't eating any meals. I was pretending to eat every meal. I was basically living on less than 200 calories a day. I was living off of fruits and vegetables, and that was it. And mostly vegetables at that point. And everybody was starting to get really worried. People were talking about it, people were whispering, got really fed up with it. Like, I was irritated so easily because my body was starving. And at the end of February, I had a therapist appointment, and they wanted a nutritionist appointment up at our local hospital. And so I went, and my nutritionist blindly weighed me, we talked, and she wanted a medical checkup from my physician. And so I went to work with my mom that day, and before we even got home, my physician called, and she said I was X amount of pounds and that I was in crisis mode and my body was shutting down, and I had to go straight up to Hershey, Pennsylvania, to the Penn State Eating Disorders Clinic. And so Thursday, February 21st, 2013, I went out there and got a medical exam, and after that doctor examined me, she decided to admit me to Hershey Medical Center. And so we went home, we packed, we went, and I stayed in Hershey Medical Center for 5 days, inpatient, getting EKGs every day, blood drawn every day. It was a really big change for me, and the Monday after, I started the Penn State Eating Disorders program, and I was in there for 3 months. It was a really huge change for me. I was forced to face my fear of foods, which was basically everything except fruits and vegetables. I was forced to talk about my problems, which were really hard, but it was so good to get it out. And within the 3 months I was there, I learned that you need to eat to live. Like, it is important to have every little thing in your diet, because your body will start starving without it. I learned the importance of our self-worth, and our self-worth does not need to be determined by the number on the scale, or the gap between your thighs, or how flat your stomach is. I mean, that's not all a person is. I'd rather be fat than judgmental and conceited and everything like that. So, I don't know about you, but I would rather. But I met amazing people through all this, and we did therapy and coping skills, and I'm learning how to not deal with my feelings through food and hurting myself, but through, like, music or art. And I've learned that life is too short to spend it at war with yourself, and never take life for granted, because my therapist up there said I was knocking on death's door, and it was only like a matter of weeks or even days maybe before I had died. It quickly turned into a full-blown eating disorder, and it hurts me to see what our society has come to, and I wish it had never come to this, because people are all obsessed with dieting and being a certain weight and being society's ideal of perfect, but there is really no ideal perfection. And I don't want anybody to go trying to chase this perfection, because it's not reachable, and everybody is beautiful in their own way, and there's a story behind everyone, so nobody has any room to judge anybody. So I just want everybody out there to know that they are important. You are worth life, and the gap between your thighs does not define you. Your weight does not define you. Your past does not define you. Your struggles don't define you. Your scars don't define you. It all just tells your story. And every bad thing and every obstacle in life makes you come out on the other side stronger. And I've realized that sometimes it's okay. It is okay to admit you need help. It is okay to admit that it is beyond your control, because my eating disorder was beyond my control by that point. My BMI was 12, and I was about to die, and I just want everybody to know that it is okay to admit that you need help. It's okay not to be okay, it really is. It's okay to stop fake smiling every once in a while. It's okay to open up, because I'm definitely still have my days and my struggles where every single day I basically struggle to get food down and a meal down, but I make relapse not even an option for me, because I have my life to live, and I want to be a role model for not only my kids, but kids around the world. I want to save life, to be an inspiration, and to change this world, because people need to open their eyes and realize words hurt, and they leave deeper scarring than on the outside, and that mental illnesses aren't any joke, and they can kill. If you don't get any help for any mental illnesses, it will kill you, and that is the promise, not a threat. But I have my whole life to live, and I'd rather live my life fun instead of spending my days studying for school 6 hours a day, or calorie counting, spending it on my calculator like I was doing, or looking up calories on the internet. I mean, that's not living. Like, I realized that I wasn't living, I was surviving, just waiting to die, and that's not good. Nobody should do that. But I want to be an inspiration for young girls out there to realize that those stick-thin models are not real. They're photoshopped. To realize that Barbie, that's not even a real body. She can't even fit all her organs inside of her. I want to be a role model that my kids and other young girls around, and boys around the world, that look up to and say, you know what, I've seen what she's going through, and I realize that that's not what defines me. And I want to save that young girl or boy or anybody out there who's deciding whether or not to eat that dinner, because it is fuel for your body. Your weight does not define you, and every flower has to go through dirt. You're going to have to go through bad stuff in life, but it makes you stronger. I would never want to change what happened to me, because I understand so much more. I've gotten closer with my family, friends, and met people that I wouldn't have met ever before if I wouldn't have gone through this, and it's made me a much stronger person, and it's made me understand way more things and mature a lot. And I've just realized that life really is too short. My life was almost cut short by an eating disorder, and nobody else deserved that. So I want you to know that you're important, that I love you, and you're not alone. And that whenever you feel like giving up, never give up, because my worst days in recovery are still better than mine in relapse. So next time you think about doing anything to hurt yourself at all, remember that it's not worth it, because it's an unreachable perfection, and that you are worth living, you are worth life, you are important, you are loved, and you are beautiful inside and out, and nothing will ever change that. I'm never ever going to judge anybody, because I know there's a story behind everyone. I just want you to stay strong and know that sometimes having fear is stronger than being fearless, and that accepting you need help is the strongest thing you could do with an addiction or a mental illness. And you can get through anything, any obstacles in life, anything. I promise you that, because if you couldn't, I wouldn't be here today. And if you surround yourself with friends that bring out the best in you and support you and are actually there for you, and you find your true friends, there is no way you will suffer, because if you find your family and friends, they will get you through anything, and you have to rely on them and a support team to help you through anything. It's okay to open up to friends and to tell them about your struggles. You're not going to annoy them or anything. So I just want you to know I love you, and you're important, and to stay strong, because every storm runs out of rain.